What can you say about this beautiful work? Her name is Flaming June. Painted in the Victorian era, she has been through a lot. The sleeping nymph lost in a dream that no one wanted and was lost for many years. Let's take a quick look at where she has been and where she is now.
Welcome to the Sunday Painter. Please click and subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget the little bell so you will be the first when we have an inspirational idea. Leave a happy creative comment.
The artist. Frederic Leighton, 1st Baron Leighton, known as Sir Frederic Leighton, was a British painter, draftsman and sculptor. His works depicted historical, biblical, and classical subject matter in an academic style. His paintings were enormously popular, and expensive, during his lifetime, but fell out of critical favor for many decades in the early 20th century. Flaming June, a sun-drenched, sleeping female wrapped in orange draperies, is one of the most memorable and reproduced images in the history of British art. She is imaged deep within a serene sleep, set against the calm waters of a Mediterranean seascape. Described as the Mona Lisa of the Southern Hemisphere, a phrase which is oft requoted about her, perhaps thereby making the statement true. She is certainly instantly recognizable as an example of High Victorian now, but the painting itself has an interesting history. Flaming June was painted in 1895. Painted with oil paints on a 47 by 47 inch square canvas, it is widely considered to be Leighton's magnum opus, showing his classicist nature. It is thought that the woman portrayed alludes to the figures of sleeping nymphs and naiads the Greeks often sculpted. Flaming June was first begun as a motif to adorn a marble bath in one of Leighton's other works, Summer Slumber. He became so attached to the design that he decided to create it as a painting in its own right. She was created from a series of sketches in 1894 and completed in 1895, a year before Leighton's heart issues took hold and brought about his death on the 25th of January, 1896. In the sketch she had her arm in a different position. He also did a color sketch to work out any color or design problems. Some have suggested the model was Leighton's muse, the actress Dorothy Dean, whom Leighton regularly used and can be seen in numerous works by Leighton, including Crenna, the nymph of the Dargle. Leighton never married, and Dean is thought by some to have been Leighton's lover. Although we cannot really know what took place between him and Dean, we do know Leighton encouraged her name change from Ada Pullen and paid for elocution lessons. We also know that Leighton left her £5,000, plus another £5,000 in trust for herself and her sisters, which is the equivalent of around £1 million in today's money. Flaming June is being shown beside the other works submitted by Leighton to the Academy that year, all of which were memorably captured and photographed on easels in Leighton's studio immediately prior to being sent to the Academy in 1895. The painting depicts a languidly draped June. She appears to be sleeping, and yet her pose is so self-contained and bound within the square composition that it seems almost impossible for a sleeping woman to maintain such a relaxed pose. June sleeps almost like a child, whose limbs somehow protrude at awkward angles and are liable to jerk into a new position at any moment, despite the heavy childlike slumber that embraces her. This young fresh-faced child of a woman has something of that sleep. Her body is so limp and languid that we feel she may never rouse from her rest, and yet somehow there is life still within the image. There is both silence and rest, and yet a glorious glow of life. She is a sensuous delight, full of peachy draped robes, with the heat of Mediterranean sunbeams falling upon the blushed cheeks of a dreamy ideal of femininity. She is pure confection. We can only look upon this scene, we are too mortal to be part of it. See the draping cloth, one can almost reach out and touch it. There is then the marbled surfaces and the vibrant colors that grab your attention. Somewhat pleasingly, the painting's first owners, the graphic magazine, bought it to create a high-quality reproduction which was given away as a Christmas gift in 1895. When Leighton died in January 1896, it was put in their office window, which was passed by the funeral procession. It was loaned to the Ashmolean Museum in early 1900s. June's whereabouts after this are unknown. She was found in a Battersea home in the early 1960s, boxed in over a chimney behind cheap paneling. Andrew Lloyd Webber saw it soon afterwards in a shop on the King's Road, but his grandmother refused to lend him the £50 asking price, stating, "I will not have Victorian junk in my flat." In 1963, Luis A. Ferre, the noted Puerto Rican industrialist and politician, was on a trip around Europe, engaged in purchasing paintings and sculptures for the Museo de Arte de Ponce in Puerto Rico, which he had founded. It's extremely curious to know that this work of such late Victorian importance was bought in Amsterdam by Luis A. Ferre for less than $1,000 in the 1960s. In 2015, an original pencil and chalk study for the painting, The Model's Head, was found on the back of a bedroom door in the mansion inherited by Bamber Gascoigne after the death of his great-aunt Mary Innes Kerr, Duchess of Roxburgh. In 2016, the painting was loaned to the Leighton House Museum in Kensington, and was displayed in the studio where it was created. There you have it. A long journey for June to end up back at the same place where she was born. Life's irony. If you like this, check out my channel for more weekly art video updates. Thanks for watching.